Hey folks, welcome to A Piece of CX. This week we're taking a look at the Nice CXone Mpower 25.4 release. I'm doing this from the comfort of my own home instead of from Glasgow Airport. So hopefully slightly better quality video this time. I've tried to do a top 10 in the past and I can't do it. I've got 5 sheets of paper here with loads of notes. And obviously we're coming up to Christmas. Everyone's looking forward to presents. And let's face it, if you read the release highlights from Nice, it is like Christmas. I mean, every quarter now is like Christmas. This release is absolutely bumper. So strap in. We're going to see how many of these we can cover. And we'll run through some of them, what they look like for end users and also people looking at Nice. So practical one first, new logo. So you will see as the changes are applied across the BUs, you will see the new Nice CXone Mpower logo. It's a bit chunkier. That will just appear within the interface. Nothing to worry about. That's just a new logo. Now, probably the least surprising news of the release is that Nice's approach moving forward is to utilize Cognigy and Nice Cognigy AI even as its virtual agent of choice, intelligent virtual agent, conversational, agentic. So this doesn't mean that Autopilot is going anywhere. If you're already working with the Amelia or Amelia, then they're still supported. But moving forward, Nice Cognigy is the way we're going. More on that from 26.1 apparently. Within the agent experience, we now have the enhanced customer card. Now, this is essentially a whole host of improvements and is also the result of something called CXone Mpower Desk, which, whilst it's not a CRM, it looks very much like a mini CRM. It does tasks, reminders, ticketing, scripting as well, which is really interesting when we've got Copilot in play. Going to be very interested to see how they all play together. But essentially what that is doing is giving you the ability to have a lot more data within the contact center in CXone and potentially not even need an external CRM. So really interesting. So you've got enhanced contact card, which we'll have a demo of soon, and then Desk, which is its own product as well. Also with an agent, a couple of interesting ones. If you're using audio visual notifications, especially the toaster pop-ups on your screen, they will now include the skill name. So you will know the type of call that you are taking as that comes through. There have been lots of accessibility improvements. You can save and redial from the outcome window. So if you're dispositioning something, then you can easily redial. So agent effort saved there. And it looks like as well, you're going to have real-time transcription within the interaction space. Now, I've seen this in a couple of other vendors recently. Really, really nice. It also is saying in the release notes that you do not need Copilot or Auto Summary to achieve that. So not sure how that's licensed, what that looks like, but that's going to be very interesting for agents to see that real-time transcript. Again, if you're on a call where the audio is not immense, then definitely worth looking at. A slight rename. I feel like I've been here before. Agent Builder is being renamed back to Bot Builder. If you don't know what Agent Builder was, it used to be called Bot Builder. That's enough on that one. One of my favorite areas of the platform, Enlighten Actions. If you're not using Enlighten Actions just yet, from my experience, that's where I now go to when I want data on CXone. I used to go into reporting, I used to go into dashboards, into interaction analytics, into Interactions Hub, and potentially be trying to merge data across different fields. Well, Actions is getting stronger and stronger. So now it has multi-ACD support. So if you're plumbing in a non-CXone ACD, then you can support that. No anomaly detections, and some of the ACD metrics aren't necessarily there, but you're starting to see support. If you have deployed Copilot for Supervisor, those Supervisor insights are now going to be within Actions. And this is really interesting because I remember a customer asking about this at Interactions this year. IA metrics more and more are coming in, as are automation opportunities and the business impact view for Copilot against average handle time and after contact work. So we'll be able to look at trends for how Copilot is impacting how we are handling. So A/B testing, that's going to be really, really interesting. There is an update to observability. So in terms of, you might see a lot of ignored within auto summary. That's going to be removed in changing the verbiage around that. And also the auto summary, you might have noticed was taking up to 4 hours to bring data in. That's going to be reduced to around 15 minutes. And this one is huge, as I keep having to go across to ACD. IDs are being replaced with agent names. The other thing here is we're going to have the ability to ask observability in natural language, just like you do in Actions. So really, really interesting there. Let's flip across to the world of Supervisor. So there are going to be some updates to skills and contacts in queue. You'll be able to see your routing attributes as well, and a slight name change. So performance monitoring is going to be renamed quality performance, which is what it has always been. It's just now that it's within the context of Supervisor, it makes sense to put quality in front of it. So let's move back across to the world of transcription and Copilot and a few other things and talk about version 11 of the Transcription Engine. So there's a brand new Transcription Engine coming in to support the likes of Copilot and Auto Summary, and I believe next year IA, although that's not on this release at the moment. Cleaner transcripts, improved accuracy, adding to lexicon has been removed. You no longer need dialects, easy for me to say, so you don't need US English or Australian English or UK English. You can boost terms more, and there are 6 new languages within the Transcription Engine. So we have German, Dutch, French, Japanese, Italian, and Welsh. Auto Summary also has some new languages, so all of those that I just mentioned, apart from French, which I believe is already supported. And whilst we stay in the AI suite, Copilot for Agents is just getting stronger and stronger. So I think I'm going to be recording an update. So I think it was July that we released something on Copilot, and it's November and it's already hugely evolved. So Copilot for Agents, there is going to be a rules engine. So 100 rules per profile to automatically show suggestions. So slightly different to knowledge, these will be suggestions. That's going to be really interesting because in my mind, that's almost a little bit of agent scripting and agent prompting versus it being customer driven. So something slightly different there. In terms of your elements, you'll be able to have text cards and decision trees, and the idea is to make it more quick and more accurate. Likewise, if you're using multi-ACD, this is going to be supported as well. And there are 9 new languages for Copilot for Agent. I don't have those in my notes, so just more languages. Staying within AI, GenAI prompt editor. So where we go to make our auto summary, our journey summary, our knowledge summaries, that is now going to support variables. So things such as case numbers, product names, customer details. So again, feel like that's going to be an updated video on the feed as soon as we start to see that hit BUs as well. Nice are launching AI Studio as well, which is a test suite for tuning and deploying AI solutions with greater confidence through tuning and analysis. So more ability to test, more ability to train, and have more confidence before we deploy things into live. So a continual evolution of that generative AI area of Nice CXone. And it's already good. These releases are only making it better. Let's flip across to a more traditional area of CXone and talk about dashboards. So over the past few releases, we have seen bits of reporting flying into dashboards with report templates. We have seen some of the reports become, with BI reports, they are more visual anyway. With this release, there is a clear distinction being made between reporting and dashboards. So dashboards are now going to be focused more on the real time. So those report templates that you did see come into the platform, they will be removed. And reports, you'll have more control over how you save them, how you version control. So that will just make life a lot easier. And underneath all this, there's new architecture, which I've mentioned a couple of times in release updates, new APIs, enhanced new agent and contact state widgets. And on dashboards themselves, we have a new agent contact view. We have some new metrics, so average speed of answer without callback time metrics. We have some localization, and there's going to be a couple of changes to QM widgets as well. So a new QM evaluations widget, and a channel view for QM score. So you'll be able to break that down, which at the moment you would go into reporting and evaluations by team and then break it down on a per agent basis. So bringing that into your dashboard for quality. If we carry on looking at quality, subtle change here when you are reviewing a form. So when you're reviewing an interaction and you're using a form even, the score used to be fixed at the top. That is now going to be at the bottom of the form, so you don't need to scroll up to see what's going on. So that'll be live updating. And something that I've seen customers asking, so this is great to see it in editing of comments on evaluations. So if you were using the comment box, and you'd already made a comment and then you go and click it again, then it was essentially overwrite. So now you're going to be able to edit that and make that a lot better. And when we talked about renaming of things previously, tasks or my tasks is now known as evaluation tasks, making it a little bit clearer. And there have been some accessibility improvements within quality management for evaluations. Quality into recording. It's kind of a natural segue. There are now going to be the ability to look at within the recording, so Interactions Hub, searching by contact end reasons. So who hung up? Agent, customer. Brilliant if you've got some behavioral issues or some call quality issues, to be able to drill into that in a bit more detail. And staying in the world of recording, we also have data policies, an area that keeps evolving and getting really interesting. You will now have an export policy. So you can set up a policy identifying types of interaction to export. You'll have advanced comparisons and you will have policy templates as well, making it even easier to do interesting things there. Within the world of analytics, we have interaction analytics, and again, continual evolution here. So Nice mentioned on one of their webinars, but 1 in 3 agents is now being analyzed through interaction analytics. And that just goes to show the worth of this solution. In the past, there were a lot of pretty graphs. It wasn't necessarily something that people looked at to go and influence the behaviors or the way in which their contact center was performing. But as it's got better, more and more people are adopting it. And with this release, we are going to get natural language prompts. So like you see in Enlighten Actions, like you see in Copilot for Supervisor, you will now have the ability to ask natural language questions into IA, which is just going to make things more accessible. Also within the world of interaction analytics, we have Topic AI Editor. It's actually moving out of interaction analytics in terms of how it's configured. It's moving into AI Studio within admin, which again just makes sense. Everything's all in the kind of same place there. We're going to have improved usability and accuracy of Topic AI, something I've only just started using, and already I can see massive benefits if you've got data and just using the AI layer to be identifying the types of intent and the actions being taken. Other category has been added for improved classification, and we'll be able to manually enrich Topic AI using sample utterances and transcripts. So again, it keeps getting stronger and stronger. So now we move into any other business, and I reckon there's still about a dozen things to talk about here. So business continuity plans. This is a new capability where you can switch between tenants. So speak to your Nice account team for more information on that, but I'm guessing that's where people are looking for more than high availability. The auto attendant function has been retired and replaced with Mpower Attendant. What else do we have? Multi-ACD now supports Amazon Connect, which means if you're using Amazon Connect for your ACD, you can now bring it into Nice CXone and benefit from voice recording, screen recording, quality management, interaction analytics, all of that kind of good stuff. We have the next generation of managing interactions within the platform and outside of the platform with Orchestrator going into controlled release. So this isn't just routing an interaction, but it's looking at the entirety of the workflow from that initial bit of demand through to fulfillment and everything in the back office, all the processes. So really, really interesting how that is going to evolve. It doesn't go GA until next year, but the indications from Nice are they want people to be aware of it so you can start having the conversations about it. Within admin, if you are adding users, you probably have started playing with employee templates. The good news is now These are supported by skim and bulk upload. So previously, you would not be able to use these. You could apply them to users. Now, this just makes so much sense. It's going to make life easier for people that are managing agents and adding employees on the platform. And the views within an employee have now been increased to up to 10 allowed per employee, up 3. So that means if you are having to segregate your data, then you have a lot more autonomy over what you can do. In the Dev 1 world, a significant update here, and it's well worth going and watching a recent My Favorite CX podcast episode to learn more about this. We have Pindrop. So Pindrop are providing the next generation of voice biometrics and fraud detection to make sure you are who you say you are when you speak to a business. So more information on that within the podcast episode, and hopefully going to start playing with that soon. Within chat, there are now a secured, Within chat, we now have secured cookies, chat support as well. And within Expert, there have been a couple of updates here in terms of content adequacy. So making sure that things are making sense and how they're utilized in Gen Search. Some new reports and an enhanced editor is now available as well. So what have we got left? We have some updates to Studio. So Web Studio has been GA now for a little while, and it looks like we have some improvements here in terms of script searching, in terms of understanding your last location within a script and your zoom settings. So if you have a mega script like this, and you've gone and looked at a little bit like this, then that's a little bit handsy, isn't it? Then next time you go in, it's not going to look like this. So if you are administering call flows and digital flows, it's just a lot easier to deal with there. There is also going to be a result branch view and configurability within the properties pane. This is really interesting. On a piece of CX, in the last few weeks, we've done a review of CXone, Zoom, and Ring CX, and their workflow editors. And if this is what it reads like it is on paper, then that's going to be very similar to something that Zoom is doing in their workflow editor. So waiting for that to drop so I can play with that and let you know more. And I think that is about it. So Merry Christmas from CXone appears to be the message with that release. A huge release, some really significant big changes within the platform, but also lots of usability changes and improvements for users of Agent, of Dashboard, of Supervisor, of recording. You name it, there have been improvements, and I'm sure they'll be featuring on future videos. So thank you very much for watching a piece of CX. Hopefully that was useful. And if you did like it, then like and subscribe and let us know what you think. Thanks very much for joining us.